So you met this, well, first of all,
Yeah.
800 on the SATs, and that wasn't yesterday.
No, I was, I don't know, 16, 17.
Yeah, and that was a that was a that would have, I mean, today it's not as big a deal as it was back then because there's so many different ways online to prepare for all that stuff, and there's a lot of
Right.
people that, I mean, there are a lot of colleges that if you're not close to perfect, they're not even
Well,
going to talk to you.
when I was in the eighth grade, I had 12 years of Catholic school. When I was in the
Right,
eighth grade nun prepared me to go to St. Joe's Prep,
right,
and I got in. I
right,
was accepted, and the same thing happened there with the priest.
right.
Took the time out to spend a lot of time after school with me about SATs.
Get you ready to
Yeah,
go.
yeah. So it's I get I credit them.
I went to Catholic school as well. I grew up in the parochial system. I was not prepared for for Saint for preparatory school, but that's a whole different.
Well, I wanted to go to college and go to medical school. I wanted to be a surgeon. My father was friends with a surgeon, and when I
Right.
was 15, the guy took me to Graduate Hospital, which is in Philadelphia, and watched some surgeries. They can't do that anymore,
Yeah.
and so that's what I wanted to do. Between high school and starting college, I got a job in a cover band, and that was the end of that idea.
Yeah. No,
For various reasons.
well, the same thing. We're just kind of shooting the shit. We'll get into other stuff in a little bit, but same thing basically happened to me. When I was performing, and I was making at the time I was making about 20 grand a year. Let's see, that would have been 1968, 69, 70.
Yeah,
And that was like most guys' fathers back then. I'm like in the blue collar world, we're making five
right.
grand a year, and I mean, if people, that's hard for people to even imagine, but
I know.
so I was making, really, really good money. And then within about 8 years, all those guys that went to college and were making nothing when they first got out were starting to outperform me, and they just kept making more and more
Yeah.
and more and more and more and more. And my paycheck, in fact, guys are playing today. They're playing for $100 or less, $50, $100. I mean, back and this back in the late '60s, early '70s, we got paid 150, 200 a night. It was, to play gigs, regular old gigs. So not only has the non-inflated,
That's why I left Philadelphia.
yeah, not the non-inflated, the number is the same regardless of the inflation, and the inflation is about, God, it's at least doubled if not
Well,
more than
that
doubled. It's 10,
seems
I think it's
to
10
be
times the number since then.
seems
So
to be the issue for a lot of musicians. But I left
yeah,
Philadelphia when I came back from Buddy Rich. When I was 1975, I moved to Las Vegas, then I moved to Los Angeles.
yeah.
So
I
I
moved
did
to
I did pretty well financially in both places.
Oh yeah. Well, I moved to Atlanta in 74. So there were not nothing as high profile as what you were doing, but
Yeah, and then I wanted to, I always wanted to play jazz guitar, and I came back to Philadelphia, started playing jazz in a little pizza place, and long story short, I got signed to Concord Records.
right.
And that's how I got to New York, and I haven't played Philadelphia since.
All right. So let's get into what's going on now. So all right, you're happy.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
um, it's my girlfriend.
Yeah, I know. I get it.
She lives in New York, which is good for me
Yeah.
because that's where all my work is.
Yeah.
And I just as far as playing, I only play the gigs that I want to, and that's a kind way of saying if they can pay me enough money, I'll take it.
Well, aren't,
Otherwise, I don't. I'm not interested.
don't you have something kind of special at Birdland coming up, or is that already going on?
No, it's an ongoing thing with Frank Vignola. I do it occasionally, when I can.
Yeah.
I love that gig. I mean, you can't play in a better place.
I've seen you play there several times. I mean,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
watched the
In the beginning, I was doing every Wednesday.
yeah.
I live between Philadelphia and New York.
Okay.
I'm a halfway point.
Right.
So when my first record came out, it was just as far from Philadelphia to play in Philadelphia as it was to go to New York, and I chose
Right.
to go to New York. So I spent a lot of time, more time playing there. Occasionally, I play Philly.
So for people that don't know, Birdland on Wednesday night, Frank Vignola runs the guitar night there and
Right.
brings in all these you know, upper echelon jazz guitarists, the
Yeah.
best of the
And
best.
I also do some commercial work up there, films, some jingle stuff occasionally.
Yeah,
My traveling days, uh,
that's what everybody says.
well,
Okay.
I'd rather not do it, but once again, if they can pay my price, I'll go.
Yeah.
You
Well,
know,
you look really healthy. I mean, I know we're looking at each other through, through cameras
yeah,
on.
well, I haven't had a drink since August 14th, and I stopped smoking cigarettes about 10, 15.
You haven't had a drink since August 14th, and this is Jimmy. Where's Jimmy Bruno? What have you done with him?
It's Jennifer.
I know,
No,
but
she didn't make me. Nobody forced
no,
me to
but you
do it.
look great. I mean,
She's not a drinker,
no.
and the only thing that bugs me is the cigarettes. So I have various ways that I'm coping with that. One is to smoke expensive cigars, but you don't inhale a cigar. If
Right.
you do why smoke the cigar?
Yeah, right.
It ruins the whole experience. But
Right.
I constantly want a cigarette.
Yeah. I
And it hasn't been that long, but occasionally I sneak and have one. But
it's the hardest of all the habits to
yeah.
break. It's really
So the Zoom thing, I was so surprised because when she first gave me this idea, I said, "Well, nobody's going to do that
Mhm.
at $100 a pop," and I was so wrong. I'm turning people away. I I have a Zoom account, and I that bought it. I could have up to 50,
Right.
and I think I want to keep it there.
That's if you get too many, then no one, yeah, 50 is actually 50 is a lot. I'm
It
impressed
is.
that you're able to maintain 50.
Yeah, sometimes. Yeah, well, one meeting, I had to break it into two groups,
Yeah.
Group One and Group Two. That was the very first one, because I had over 125 at that point. It was a large number. I don't remember the exact number,
Well, it's
which meant that I had to do it twice, and it's actually the same lesson twice.
right.
Um,
Well, I don't need a calculator to do the
Yeah,
math
and
on
I
that.
thought about and each meeting gets recorded automatically, much like
Right.
this does, okay?
Yeah, this is getting recorded.
And some people can't, attend,
Right.
the time zones, all kind of
So
stuff.
you can post a file.
It's an archive, and people can buy the archive, and sometimes people that don't even know about it, they'll call me and ask for the archive,
Right.
or email me, and everybody needs to start at lesson one, no matter who you are.
Right.
That's the basis of the course, and it's going really well. But I shouldn't say this. That if it is a downside, it is a lot of work. The prep work is, and just keeping track of who's who and what they're missing.
Right.
Occasionally, I answer questions via email. As long as it's something that I can answer in an
Right.
email. Otherwise, I mean, the answers are in the video. I can point them to it.
Right.
There's just impossible to, if it's a complex question.
Well,
But
everybody learns differently. Some people
yeah,
by
yeah. But
watching,
they can,
auditory.
they can watch them forever. I
Yeah.
mean, unless the internet breaks, I guess I don't know.
Yeah.
And the feedback that I got, I was really surprised. And some of these people I know
Right.
because they've been former students, and the feedback that I get, I was curious as to why.
Right.
Leave it to me to, I don't know whether it screws it or not, screws it up. But a lot of people had told me that there's so much of it on the internet, done by people that you never heard of. Now, I'm not being a snob
No,
about it, but see, I don't look. I very rarely do Facebook. I never, if I'm working, if I'm playing somewhere, I never put it on Facebook.
right,
Never. I mean, that's up to the venue to do
right.
that. I never do it. I just think that I don't know if you have to post your own gigs there, maybe you don't have a career.
Well, that's
I
not
don't.
your at your
I
level.
don't know because I don't do
Yeah,
social media.
at your level, that's not your job.
Yeah, well, I'm not being. It's not. I just,
No,
I
that's
don't.
just
I'm
that's just
lucky.
that's just reality. I mean,
Lucky. Yeah.
the kind of gigs that you play, they aren't expecting you to be the promoter. If you're playing out at Charlie's Pizza, he's expecting you to bring 10 or 15 of your friends to
Right.
show
Well, I
up.
mean,
That's
there was a time, but there wasn't any Facebook.
right, exactly. We used
And
years.
it's fine for some people. I mean, I just find, first of all, I don't know if anybody has ever tried to get rid of Facebook. It's not easy. And I certainly don't want to be involved in an application that's hard to get rid of. I don't understand the algorithms. I don't understand the purpose. But if it's hard to get rid of, that tells me a little bell goes off there. Maybe I shouldn't.
Well,
So, I mean, I have a Facebook page. I had to get somebody to start the process for me to delete it.
yeah,
But even then, it says you have to wait 30 to 60 days. So
yeah. I don't know.
I
I don't
very
know.
seldom go there. And it just seems to, know a lot about you, of who anybody on
Well, they're
there.
data mining. There's no doubt about that.
I mean, I'm starting to get snail mail from something that I looked on Facebook.
Yeah,
That maybe it's Google. I
yeah.
don't know.
There is a setting that you can
Yeah,
but
I
by the
tried
time you
all that.
figure, yeah, it does. It's like
It
trying to
don't.
it's like trying to stop mail from coming to your mailbox.
Yeah, it doesn't work.
You just
But
can't win that fight. So don't even
yeah, so
bother.
the best thing to do is I just very I might sign. Um, it's a good way to keep in touch with people that I know, but people that I want to talk to, they're friends of mine or
Yeah,
acquaintance. They have my phone number.
they can get a hold of you. Okay,
Yeah,
okay. Well, let's just hold on one second. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's call this section 2 with Jimmy Bruno. This is Bob Bakert with Jazz Guitar Today. We're here with Jimmy Bruno, and we've just been talking about all kinds of crazy shit. And here we are for stage 2 of it. And the reason I wanted to do that is I want to talk about your playing a little bit. Is that okay?
sure.
Well, all right. I mean, you've been doing this since Moby Dick was a minnow, as people like to say. And,
Yeah,
and if someone comes to hear you play, let's say you got a gig at Birdland and it's just
right.
you. You're the headliner. You're the guy. You're not. It's not
Yeah.
part of It's what are they going to hear? What tunes are you going to play? What I mean, do you have an idea of what you're planning on doing? In your perfect world, are you going to do a trio, a quartet? You're going to hire a horn
Uh,
player?
I prefer a quartet. I prefer a pianist or another guitar player.
All right.
Yeah, there was a time, when I was younger, it was just trio.
Yeah.
But there's certain tunes, some things that I like to play, like for example, modal tunes, and I'm not a fan of it, but occasionally I do like to do it. I can't play it all night. Not that I can't. I don't want to listen to somebody play over one chord.
Right.
Not all night.
No, 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 no.
But those kind of tunes, you do need somebody to play the chords.
Right. Yeah.
And there's a few other songs that you do need. It's nice to have an accompanist. For example, the tune Bolivia.
Uh-huh.
It's a. I like the tune. It has a ostinato in the beginning, and you're just soloing over a G7th chord.
Right.
So with you would only have a bass player going like this. I have to. It's there's a low. Hang on.
What guitar is that, Jimmy?
It's an Eastman.
Oh yeah, I remember those guys. I used to work
Yeah.
for them.
Yeah. So there's like 16 bars of that.
Yeah.
And you would just have a bass player there, but it's nice to have somebody playing a chord.
Yeah.
You know,
Partial anyway.
and
Yeah.
I tried. I've heard other guys, play the song. It's a fun song to play. But when I first learned it, I tried all kind of things. I thought, man, geez, I could play G anything.
Yeah.
I'd go crazy with the alterations and substitutions. I decided that I didn't like it. It didn't seem to work. I mean, you can occasionally, go outside,
Right.
and go out, but don't stay there. Come back,
Yeah,
So that's a good reason why you need a piano player.
It's like the kids going out to play during the day. Yeah, go out and play, but check in every hour or so to let me know you're still alive.
Yeah, it's and that's fine for some people. I particularly don't like it too abstract.
Right.
Because after sometimes you lose the musicians, and
Yeah.
I don't play for musicians. I
No.
don't. And I play for my. After I found that out, well, I played to the audience,
Right.
and nowadays I just play for myself.
Well, I think
I'm
that's
much happier.
I think that's the key. I think that
People seem to react to it
yeah,
very well.
if you play stuff that you love and they can see that you love it and you're
Yeah,
sharing it with them,
right.
they're going to love it. If they think you're pandering to them, people pick up on that.
Yeah, and I mean, I'm playing in New York, so I mean, it's I'm not in like I won't name a state.
No, I know, but what you're saying, you're playing, and these people are used to listening to the best in the
The
world.
best, yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
And that club, I mean, that's one of the most famous
that's the
jazz clubs
place.
in the
Yeah,
world.
Birdland is.
You
I mean,
know?
all the guys that play in there are the guys. I
Yeah.
mean, there's nobody else. I
Yeah.
mean, that's
Now,
it.
I made 2 live records there a long, long time ago. I want to say 98, 99.
It is a while
And
ago.
it's the same owner and it's the same manager.
Same manager. Now that
Oh yeah.
that blows me out.
Yeah. Yeah. So whatever the formula is to run a successful
All right.
jazz
So
club,
in
I think they
'99,
got it.
in '99, you did Live at Birdland
That's
2, and in
right.
'97, you did Live at Birdland, both on Concord.
There was Live at Birdland was one.
Yeah, that was in
I did it
'97.
all in the same night though. Well, not at 2 different nights. One night was Bobby Watson.
Yeah,
Or no, the first night was Scott
it
Hamilton.
was the same gig basically.
Yes, the second night was
Yeah,
Bobby. First was Scott Hamilton. Second night was Bobby
and they
Watson.
separated it by 2 years. The release.
Well, at 1 year.
It says here, just letting you know, this is what Wiki.
Yeah, it's
It could have been. It could have been December of '97 and January of '99. That kind
right.
of thing.
It was like that.
Yeah.
That's the reason. The same thing happened with the Concord Jazz Guitar Collective. Carl Jefferson, the first person I met when I signed to Concord was Howard Alden.
Yeah.
Okay? And so after, I don't remember, in between one of the records I made, it was his idea. He says, "Do you know Howard Alden?" No. And I went to New York and I met him, and we got along musically, and so we came up with an idea to make a record.
Right.
Okay. And then we recorded it. All right, and it came out pretty well. And then I through Howard I met Frank Vignola.
Right.
And then he gets an idea to let's do the 3 guitars.
Ah.
Because he's had plenty of those, the great guitars, et cetera, 1
Sure.
and 2, all the variations. And so then we recorded that. So what had happened was that one came out first. And the one I did with Howard Alden came out second. Okay. And Carl Jefferson was,
Well, that's called. All right. So, yeah, Concord Jazz Guitar. That was in '95.
Right.
Howard Alden, Frank Vignola, '95. God Almighty.
And the other one, the one with Howard Alden was called Full Circle.
That was Full Circle with Howard Alden, '98.
Right, and that was Carl Jefferson's maybe his last project, and they made it a double record. It was his first CD with, I think it was Herb Ellis and Joe Pass, and his last one that he produced was with me and Howard.
Oh man, that's pretty high cotton or pretty high, you know.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. He was such a nice man, and just a no bullshit guy. I didn't know anything about record contracts or something like that, and I asked him. It was only 2 pages,
Yeah,
a page and a half actually. I still have it.
yeah.
And I says, "That's it?" He says, "Yeah." He says, "Hey, kid." I mean, to him, I was a kid. I was
Yeah.
30, 37, 38, 35. He says, "Never sign anything that's more than 2 pages." And I never have.
You know,
Well, I did once, and didn't turn out well.
yeah, it's all that is more exit pathways is all it is.
Yeah, I don't sign anything anymore. I
Yeah.
get nervous. I get nervous to sign a check for dinner. No, that's not true. But yeah, it was really good advice from.
So what again, getting back to my question, so what would you play with a quartet would be your
Yeah,
that would be your thing, piano probably.
yeah. I have a gig there. I can't remember the date, but I'm going to do it with Dave Stryker.
Oh yeah, I love Dave.
Yeah, me too. Me too. I
Yeah.
really like his playing, and
And
I
I
don't.
like him as a human being too. I mean, I love
Yeah,
his
yeah.
playing and I like him as a person
He's a
and
really good guy, and
yeah.
he's a great teacher too.
Oh, he's
Yeah,
I think right now I think he's teaching at 5 institutions. He's
yeah, yeah. He's really good, and uh, I don't know who the bass player or the drummer is. He's been living up there for a long time,
yeah.
and so he's gonna get the band,
Yeah.
the bass player and the drummer,
Well,
and
I'm
that's
sure
fine
I'm sure
because
there'll
every
be
time I hear him play, you know, um, I spend a lot of time with my girlfriend in New York, and she loves music. She's a classical guitarist.
Oh, wow.
And you know, uh, for me, sometimes, like at home, if I'm home, the only music that I listen to, this is, I don't mean to piss anybody off, but, and I don't want to sound snobbish, but I love classical music because it's really different for me.
Oh,
You know, um,
yeah,
and
so
I
do
got
I.
exposed to it when I was living in Las Vegas. Long story, but anyway, this girl a violinist played for me Petrushka,
Mhm.
and I never heard music like that before.
Yeah.
I mean, classical music to me was Mozart, Beethoven, the usual, and I always liked that as well. You know, um, I did, I was able to tell what the harmony was, what the chords were.
Yeah.
I mean, they didn't use. I mean, Mozart wrote so much music with triads,
Right.
so
No,
did Beethoven.
it's all there's very few things outside of the
The melodies are just
yeah.
fantastic.
And the rhythms are amazing and
Yeah, and
like
then all of a sudden Igor comes along, Igor Stravinsky, and I went, wow. Now I don't recognize anything. I don't recognize any of the harmonies. So I went out and bought the scores, and they're not what I'm used to hearing. And it's things that you can't play on the guitar. You can play them on the piano.
Yeah.
And trying to get inside his head is I've been trying for maybe the last 40 years. And I understand a little bit. But I'm more attracted to that music. I mean, not that I don't love good jazz soloists and stuff and the tunes, but I can, no matter what, pop music,
Yeah.
wherever like that, I can tell what the chords are instantly.
Yeah. Well,
It's not fun.
no, I, you know what is really, I'm sure you would agree with me. I hope you would agree with me, or if you don't, I think if you were exposed, as John Williams and what he does for
Oh,
movies. I
that's
mean,
the other thing that I like a
it's
lot.
just if you listen to those soundtracks without watching it, you go,
Yeah,
"Who
there
the?"
was but I can tell what the harmonies are with most of
Yeah.
But John Williams is a fine composer.
Oh my God. Well,
He's
it just
written some things outside of the movie
yeah.
business
I
that
mean
are really
the time
fantastic.
changes and I mean
Yeah,
he has to compose to what he's seeing on the screen
yeah.
and
So
make
it's
it come alive and I mean that's and you just go wow what is going
yeah. I'm always impressed. I mean, I lived in L.A. for a long time, and that's mostly what I did was that, and you know, a few jazz gigs here and there. But
Yeah.
and I was fascinated by how somebody could do it with the click tracks and etc. It was very very high stress, but I enjoyed it for a while. And just in the last two or well, I wouldn't say the last 2 or 3 years. Um, a lot of times when I listen to music, I'm in the car,
Yeah.
and I rediscovered some of these tracks.
Yeah.
Blood, Sweat, Blood, Sweat and Tears, David
Oh,
Clayton Thomas,
yeah. It was a
the
soul.
band Chicago.
Was it Soloff that played
Yes,
the
Lou.
Blood,
So
Sweat, and Tears? Yeah.
I got to do a gig with him at a high school. We were coaching a high school band.
Yeah.
What a great guy!
Yeah. Yeah. I got a
And I
chance to
and I
see
met the
him.
bass player there when I was living in Vegas. They had come through, but the bands that they were so inventive and so ahead of their time. And I'm glad that they got the recognition.
You
You
talking
know,
about Chicago or who?
both both of those bands, and very highly jazz influenced. I think that it sounds to me that they were jazz players. And
Oh well, yeah, especially Blood, Sweat, and Tears. I think,
yeah, but
especially
those guys in Chicago, I'm one of the finest guitar solos. You see,
Terry
I
Kath. Terry
Terry Cat
Kath. Yeah.
on. I think it's 25 to 6 to 4. I
You know,
mean, it's just
a
fantastic.
lot of people uh, would say, Hendrix once. Somebody they said to Hendrix, something about who's the best guitar player, and and you hear this like a thousand answers. So please
Right?
don't
Yeah.
write me letters. But he was a big fan of Terry Kath
Oh yeah.
and,
Well, but
what he was doing.
I do like all those guys. There's another um, band that I'm enamored with for a long time is Manhattan Transfer.
Yep,
Another one, New York Voices.
that I don't know. I don't know them.
Yeah. But in Manhattan Transfer, there's one track. I think it's Twilight Zone.
Uh
It's the
huh.
theme of this TV show. Um, I think the guitar player is Jay Graydon. I'm not positive. Um, and
I'm gonna look
it,
that up when we're
it's
done.
one of the most fantastic guitar solos I ever heard, and he matched himself. He doubled his own solo, and from what it wasn't done by technology because they didn't have that
No, they didn't
technology.
have that back then. You had to go ahead and play it.
And I mean, he matched the bends, and I think it's in thirds. But it's just like, wow, how do you play better than I can't imagine
Well,
playing better.
back then you couldn't to be unique. You had to create unique. Like let's say Chicago. It was a great example. All those horn
Yeah.
arrangements that I think James Pankow was the guy that did
Yes, he
all
was a trombone player.
Yeah, he was a horn arranger, and all of those arrangements, if you listen to them all by themselves, they're pretty and the way
Oh
they
yeah.
change time and play with time and
Yeah. Saturday in the Park has a lot of it.
Saturday, yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
you just go. I mean, yeah, that was if you talk about fusion, that was definitely jazz influenced pop music.
Oh yeah, and you can hear some of their solos very highly jazzy. I don't know any of those guys,
Yeah,
in Chicago, but yeah, and other things that stick with
well,
me.
I don't know. I don't know if you can hear this or not, but
I can't hear it.
yeah, it's just it's the opening of uh shit, I can't remember the tune, but it's an A major seventh to basically a D6 kind of thing, and it
I know which tune you mean.
yeah, it's it's
Beginnings.
yeah, 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 right. I mean, back then, back then the pop tunes didn't have major
No,
sevenths in them.
no. The other
Unless
the other one that I liked is Spiral to Staircase.
yeah, oh yeah,
Here's the hook, and then the horn.
yeah.
And then
I mean, yeah, I mean that was back when people were,
then
you
three
know,
six two five.
listen to that melody. I mean, listen to that melody.
something like that.
Yeah,
The
yeah, yeah, yeah,
one
yeah.
hit wonders, you know. And the other one that even today, uh, it was by the Tokens. Um,
Oh yeah, I know what they're talking. I can't
the
go the name.
Lion Sleeps Tonight.
Lion sleeps tonight.
Yeah, you know, and I'll tell you, you know,
There's a really cool. You want to hear something really cool? Billy Joel, I think, did a spoof, not a spoof on that, but he did a version of where he sings all the parts.
really,
Yeah, I think you can find it on YouTube. He sings all the parts.
there's another. Oh,
And Jimmy.
B.J. Thomas,
Oh yeah,
Hooked on a Feeling.
yeah.
Can't think of the melody. Man,
Hooked on a feeling. Yeah, here I am singing.
I can't remember how
I
sad.
am believing you're in love with me.
You know, they instead of two fives, a lot of those guys they played a minor seven, put the fifth, like A minor,
Yeah,
something with the D and a bass.
yeah,
Instead of this, instead of this.
yeah. Get a little more range out of it,
Oh, I
Yeah.
forgot. I tuned this down to. Good thing I didn't need that note down there. This instead of this, instead of A minor seven,
Right, yeah.
seven, it just went sus chord, I guess they call it.
Well, yeah, D. It could be a D sus at that point.
Yeah, you know the root usually determines the name.
Yeah,
And you know, I guess in the last, I don't know. I'm very bad with putting things into a time frame.
um,
You know, I just for some reason I just don't pay any attention
Jimmy,
to
I'm
it.
older than you are, and I know everything about being bad about putting things into a
Yeah,
time
I know why
frame.
it is. I know why it is because I don't have a job. I don't. I don't have to be anywhere at 9 o'clock in the morning.
I had
When
to
I
be.
lived in Las Vegas, I knew what day. Well, I really didn't care. I just knew that I had to leave my house by 7 o'clock because I had to play a show at 8 o'clock.
Oh, there you go. In the morning
So the
or at
day
night? No, at night.
at night.
At
So the
night.
day didn't mean anything to me.
Yeah.
Monday, Tuesday, it was every night.
It was really funny. Just this year, because of Christmas and New Year's were on Wednesdays and stuff like that.
Yeah,
I had no idea what the hell day it was. I was thinking
I know.
every day was Sunday. That's all I thought. That's all
Yeah,
anyway.
yeah. It's one of the. I don't know if it's benefits. I mean, uh, but sometimes my girlfriend Jennifer would say, "Well, I told you Friday we were going to," but
So,
I knew we were going somewhere. Before I get to that, I a long time ago I discovered Willie Nelson,
oh, I love Willie Nelson.
Bonnie Raitt, and a lot of people I'm leaving out. Okay,
Yeah.
now their music comes totally from the soul,
I love
from
Willie Nelson.
inside. And the older I get, I'm realizing that if you perform any kind of music, okay, if you
Yeah.
don't touch somebody inside,
Yeah.
I mean that's why people go out to clubs to hear live music,
Yep.
and Bonnie Raitt, I get the same vibe from her. And before that, after that was when I was a kid. I always wanted to see the New York Philharmonic,
Oh,
and she
okay.
took me there. And I never saw an opera, and she took me to an opera, two. Well, yeah, one opera.
So did she buy you cotton candy, Jimmy?
No, no, she's very healthy. You know what? Well, I do a lot of walking in New York, and if
No,
I
I
see,
know you do. What I'm
but
saying
Bob,
is that.
if she's very healthy,
Oh no,
if
no,
I
no,
see
no,
it,
no, no, no. When I said buy a cotton, what I was saying is that she's really taking care of you and letting you relive
yeah,
your childhood, if you
yeah,
will. She's not treating you like a child, but
no,
that's what I was
sometimes,
going.
sometimes,
Well, maybe she does, but I mean the comment wasn't about health.
no, no, I didn't take it the
It
wrong
was
way.
about how sweet she's being to you. That's
Yes,
where,
yeah.
where I
I
was
mean,
going.
like I said, and if I see a food truck in New York, okay,
Yeah.
I've got to even if I'm not hungry, I'm gonna buy something from the food truck. Frank Vignola says to me, "You want to get a good cup of coffee, get one of them off the trucks," and it's the truth. But just in general,
Yeah.
and she doesn't do that. Well, she's a New Yorker; she's been there forever.
Yeah.
to me, we went to I went to the Metropolitan Museum, all kinds of shit, and I don't remember know where we were. It was outside of a museum, and some of the places they just blow my mind. But I saw a truck, and and I didn't say anything. She just looked at me and looked at the truck. She says, "Go ahead." And you know what I got? It was in the afternoon.
What's that?
A hot dog with sauerkraut relish. It just was. It was so damn good. I mean, really,
if, if you're in New York, there's certain things you gotta, you gotta give yourself some. I would never
yeah,
do that here, but I would do it if I
yeah.
was up there hanging out. You probably, I'm guessing you probably have put on maybe 15, 20 pounds and that you needed it, I mean, it looks like you
Maybe,
filled out.
maybe I don't know. I feel pretty good.
But you were never, obviously you were, you were
Yeah,
like
well,
100.
it's also I think you kind of puff up a little bit when you get old. I don't know.
But you were really, really thin. I
Really
mean,
thin, yeah.
yeah, you were probably 130
You know,
pounds at one point, 135 maybe.
120.
Okay, oh my God. Well, there you
Yeah,
go.
you know what though? You see, it's kind of connected to the way I play too. As well as my metabolism. I don't know if that's the right word.
That
I
might
don't
be.
think
Who
it's
knows? We don't
metabolism,
we don't care.
but it was. I'm a Type A personality,
I would have
and,
never have guessed that, Jimmy.
and my metabolism was very, very intense. I don't think it's metabolism. I mentioned it to my cardiologist, and he says, "No, not. It's not true." Anyway, doesn't matter. People get the idea. It
Yeah, we
was
know
a
what you
lot
mean.
high. It was a lot higher then.
Yeah,
Now it's not. It's due to age. And so I take my time when I play.
right.
I could still, my chops are still there. I just use them in a different way.
Yeah, I would agree. I've been watching. Like I said, I watch Wednesday nights a lot, very very often.
Yeah,
And I was watching you play. I don't know. It seems like it was a couple of weeks ago, but it was probably a month or two ago.
it was probably last month.
Probably, yeah. But in fact, it was last month, and I was watching. I was noticing how your chops were all there, and the way and the choices that you were making musically were not about whether or not people go,
Yeah.
"Oh wow, look at that." It made musical sense, if you know what
Well,
I'm saying.
I listen to some of my old recordings and I go, some of them I really like, and other ones I go, "Jeez, what?
Why
Stop."
did why did I do that? Yeah.
Yeah, but at different times, the society, everything was different.
Yeah, I mean, and you got to allow yourself that grace, if you will, to try shit and see what happens. And as
Well,
you
I
get
mean, what's the alternative to, to getting old?
yeah, and
Dirt nap.
as you get older, maybe I didn't love you
Oh, that's my favorite Willie Nelson
quite as
song.
often as I should have.
Yeah. Oh, what's the name of that? I love
Maybe
that song.
I didn't hold you
I
quite as
should learn it.
often as I could have.
What the hell's the name of it?
I'm getting there. Little things I've said and done,
Yeah. What key are you in?
be always on my mind.
In D major?
So here we are. Yeah, yeah. So the melody starts on F sharp.
What's the I'm trying to think of the name of it.
Let's get go.
Uh, that,
Yeah, all these lonely. So it's maybe I didn't love you quite as often as I should have. Maybe I didn't treat you, something like that. This B minor, then it's an E dominant. It should have. If I made you feel second best, girl, I'm sorry I was blind.
no, that's not right. No. I
That's an
play
A
the wrong
chord.
one.
You were always on my mind. my mind. All right, you got me.
That's the name of the song. You're always on my mind.
You were always on my mind. Yeah.
Yeah, I
So,
love that song.
it's you talk about Willie Nelson and feeling the tune. That's like as good as it gets as far as I'm concerned.
You know,
Well, Jimmy, we've been here about 50 minutes, and I think let's do this again soon so we can kind of keep
anytime you like.
keep it rocking and rolling.
Yeah.
We'll pick another Willie Nelson tune that we'll
Okay.
listen to.
Anybody interested in my Zoom lessons? Email me, jimmybruno@mac.com.
And then where can they find out what the dates are at Birdland?
Probably their website. Don't go by me.
Okay. But that's coming up, right? Isn't that coming up pretty soon?
Um,
I'm gonna see if I can find it real quick.
there's nothing like right away. I have these, these Zoom lessons take a lot of my time, and in fact, I'm in the middle of the Zoom. I do them once a month on Sundays,
Right.
but in between there, I also make these videos about different things. I make PDFs of them, like the latest one that I'm doing now. It's about the diminished cycle, and it's called "Whatever You Do, Don't Fall Down the Diminished Hole." And it's true, because if you read books, jazz books about it gets so complicated, and once you fall down there,
Yeah,
you can't come out.
The problem that I see,
I noticed because I did it. I
yeah,
tried to understand.
the problem that I see with most people's teaching, and there are some good books out there right now, and but most of you have to be able to target where your student is,
Yeah,
so you're not making them drink out of a fire hydrant.
right.
And that's really an issue. And the other thing is that people will give concepts like this, that, and the other thing, but they won't show you where they actually used it.
Yeah. All that information without application, it's useless.
What is it? It's just data. I mean, if you don't say, hey,
Can't make music that way. Yeah, if you don't know how to use it.
and you know what? That's a great point to stop on it. It's all about making music.
Yeah, I call it applied teaching.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I made a comment to somebody the other day. I said, music is not a sport.
Right. That's true. That's true.
It's not a sport. It's not all about who can get the ball in the hole, or who can play the most notes, or who can do this, or
Right.
who can do
True.
that.
Yeah.
It's about communication of emotion.
It takes a while to reach that point.
It does, because
some younger players, man, they get there right away. I do mean it. Not a lot of them.
yeah,
And it's funny. Sometimes when I hear these guys, to me they're still younger players, and then I get to meet them and play with them.
Yeah.
They're in their 40s or 50s.
yeah. They're not in their 20s.
No, but in my mind they are, and there's a couple, guys. I say new guys, but they're not new. They've been around a long
No,
time.
they've been around, and they got kids. That's the part.
Yeah, and their playing just seems to get better and better and better. One of the most fun I've had, and I've done it several times, is playing with Mike Stern.
Yeah.
Well,
Mike,
liked his music.
But Mike's probably 68 years old.
He's the same age as me.
Is he 72?
I think so.
Yeah, I've been a big fan of Mike's for a long time.
Yeah, and I just thought, what are we going to play? I like his music. I don't,
Yeah.
But surprisingly, he can play bebop really good.
No, he's great.
He knows all those tunes.
Well, he practiced. He's 72, January 10th, 1953. He's well known for practicing 8 to 12 hours a day, every day. The stuff that he would.
Yeah.
I mean, Mike's.
Yeah.
Mike's,
it's not a question I get, but comments that I get sometimes. You're just really talented. Born with a lot of talent.
Yeah.
It's not true. What people don't see was the 8 and 10 hours that as a kid that I
Yeah.
played the guitar. You don't come out of the womb like
No,
knowing all
you
this
gotta,
shit.
ability has to meet discipline, has to
Yeah,
meet,
and I guesstimated it. I must have put in over 10,000 hours of practice between the time I was 16 to maybe I don't know 21, 22, and I still keep practicing because that wasn't enough.
well, Pablo Casals, and this is a famous story, and
Right?
I know you've heard it a million times. He's 90 years old. Maestro, why do you keep practicing? I think I'm
Yeah,
getting better.
it's making progress. I
I mean,
think it's
I've got, I'm, I'm 75, and
right.
here's a Strat.
Yeah,
Over there, there's basically a 335. There's a Tele,
yeah,
and there's an acoustic guitar right
yeah,
over there, and the jazz
yeah.
boxes are over there.
Yeah,
And
I
I
have
play every day.
I have
I play.
335s. What I don't have is an acoustic guitar or a classical guitar. And when I lived in LA, you needed to
Yeah.
have all that. And I don't have a telly. I had one for a short time,
I
but
Well, I'll
I
be
want to
honest
get that.
about my telly. My telly, I broke the E string, the high E string on it about
Right?
3 months ago, and I haven't bothered putting it on, putting a new
There's
one on.
that those guitars are indestructible.
Well, I always say, the beautiful thing about a telly is if you're up the creek, you always got a paddle.
Yeah, and you know what? I had a telly when I lived in Las Vegas. I can't remember what I was playing, what kind of music, but it called for a telly, and it had a humbucker pickup on it. Okay, and
Yeah,
after the gig, I uh, I put it on top of my car. It was like 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. Went out with a bunch of guys,
right.
get something. He'd had a couple beers, and I was just bullshitting with them outside. I had it on top of my car, and I forgot. And I drove away, and I heard a noise. I said, "Jesus Christ! I hope I didn't hit anybody or anything." So I backed up and then went over a bump. I said, "What
Oh
the hell?"
no.
I ran over the guitar, and I thought, "Well,
Was
that's
it
the
in
end of
the
that."
case? Was it in the
Yeah,
case? Okay, all
yeah.
right.
They're not a special case, just a
No,
case of
I'll just
covers.
say the other regular case. Yeah.
And I'm thinking, "Oh boy, this is no good." I drove home. I opened the case. Not only was the guitar okay, Bob, it was still in tune.
Hey, listen, man. Yada yada yada.
There they are. Oh, look at that.
Yeah, yada yada yada. So,
Yeah,
I mean, this thing is it.
you can't break it.
You can't break. I could hit somebody. I could swing this thing
Yeah,
like an axe, and
I know.
it would hurt somebody. See all
Yeah.
those chips and
Yeah,
stuff like
and
that.
if I put a humbucker pickup in the front, and I could also switch it to single coil. You can play any kind of music you want.
I've this guitar has been through about 8 or 10 neck pickups.
Yeah,
I've had several different humbuckers. I've had a
yeah,
P90 in there. I've had a Charlie
yeah,
Christian in there. Right now, this is pretty much the stock setup.
yeah,
I
yeah,
don't know if I'm going to keep it that way, but the beauty of these things is that the pickguard comes off, and in
yeah. Very
five,
easy to
5 minutes you got a new
yeah,
configuration.
very easy to set up. So
Yeah, no, I love this guitar. I
yeah,
like I said, I broke the string. My least favorite thing in the whole wide world.
changing strings.
I hate changing strings.
Me too.
God, do I
Me
hate changing
too.
strings.
Me too.
I've got guitars that I won't even tell you how old the strings are, and I don't. It doesn't seem to bother me at all. I don't really care.
Yeah.
Now, as
No.
opposed to Larry Carlton, who has Rick Wheeler change his strings every set,
Oh, jeez. Well.
but he's got a guy to do it.
Yeah. Yeah.
He had a guy to do it.
Right.
Anyway,
All right, Bob. This
all
has
right,
been
man.
fun as
Listen,
always.
this is Bob Bakert with Jimmy Bruno, the man, the maestro, the myth, the legend, the guy, the happy guy.
Yeah.
Man, I'm so, and I don't want to get too far down this hole because we'll talk about this again. But I'm so happy for you. I
Me
really am.
too. Me too.
Gives me hope.
Me too. Life is strange. You never know who you're going to meet. You never know what's going to happen. And
You got to
I'm fortunate
keep swinging.
to have met Jennifer.
Yeah, you keep swinging because you don't know what's around the corner.
Yeah, you got it, Bob. All
All
right,
right,
I'll
man.
talk to you soon.
See you later. Bye bye.
All right. Okay. Bye bye.
Bye.